Welcome to the Retrospect podcast, a show where people come together from different walks of life and discuss a topic from their generation's perspective. My name is Ian, and as always, I'm joined by Stoney.
Hello.
And Jason.
Hello, everyone.
I was stumbling my words there for a second. How's it been for you guys?
Well, I mean, it was a good weekend.
I wish the weather would make up its mind. I know we always say this every year, but I have noticed I'm a little congested because it went from super hot to frigid.
I'm dealing with that myself right now, and it's supposedly this week it's going to be a roller coaster of temperature changes. So we're going to be, unfortunately, I think I'm going to have to do a nasal flush.
Oh yeah.
To help me in that regard. But no, it was a great weekend. The girlfriend and I bought 2 tickets to the Louisiana Renaissance Festival.
No way.
Yes. So we went.
I was going to go this weekend, but they sold out.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, there was a bunch of other people that was supposed to come on this weekend with us, but sold out. Luckily, when I bought the tickets,
yep,
because I bought them early.
Yeah.
And but this weekend was this past weekend. The theme was myths and magic.
Fun.
So it's, you go to that. That was the first time she had ever been to that.
Really?
That kind of event.
Well, I've gone a whole bunch over the course of the years, and they've done a lot of renovations. They've revamped a whole lot.
Yes.
They've done a lot of publicity this year for it, and it's really cool. It's so much better.
I ran into actually I was in line waiting to give me something to eat, and there was a guy in front, and somehow I caught the conversation, but. And I started talking to him, but he said they were from Orlando, Florida.
Get out.
And just at the last minute decided to drive to the Renaissance Festival here.
Wow.
Obviously, they go to a lot of them. I said, well, how does this one stand up to some of the others? He goes, it's not as big.
Yeah.
But I like this because there's more actual physical structures that give you the impression of a medieval town that you would see in Europe during that time period. He goes, a lot of the big Renaissance, there's just a lot of tents.
Yeah.
So it's not the same. So, and I have to say, it's been several years since I've been.
Yeah.
They've done a lot.
They have.
Out there. They've done quite large from a lot bigger than what it was when I first
They've done a lot
attended.
in just the past 2 years. They didn't have it in 2020 because of the pandemic. 2021, it was back, but masks and a whole bunch of stuff. And then every year since then, they have just a lot of that money has been putting into improving it, and it's shown. Well, this year was the biggest year. I was
they're selling out every weekend, so they're obviously making money.
Exactly. So, anyways, I love that festival. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool people out there, and that's actually I was going to talk some about that. In today's episode, okay, as we get into it.
But so it was fun. We had a good time.
Austin used to be the best.
Oh yeah, I've heard.
Austin is
there's the big one in East Texas, and the reason I know that because my girlfriend's friend and her boyfriend went to the one in Texas, and they're camping out there.
Oh yeah. So I used to do the one in Austin, and it is absolutely fantastic. That's cool. I don't know if it still is because it's probably been many,
Does that
many
one
years.
have a lot of the actual constructed
that is
buildings?
The buildings, the jousting, everything.
That's so cool.
Yes.
I think it's a lot of fun. It's a cool place. But anyway, like I said, we'll talk about that later. Do you want me to introduce this episode, or do one of you guys want to take it?
Well, I mean, we are entering Thanksgiving.
Yep.
Well, I had a lot to be thankful for coming into this episode and did some fun research. And about an hour before came up here, I received the news that the corporation that I work for has decided to fire me because of the accident. And they decided to do it the week of Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And so I don't know how much I have to be thankful for this week, except for my wife, except for our listeners, and you guys.
I
and
still
my family.
I still believe there's a lot to be thankful for, but I don't want to discredit the fact that is unfortunate.
Yeah, let's think about that.
You know, as I said, that we are going into Thanksgiving week. And so what we traditionally have done is to look back on what we are thankful for. And I know we're unfortunately dealing with this bad news that Stoney received, and I've got my own opinions on that, and I'm just going to refrain from talking about that. But I was just looking at my own life and what I've been thankful for and how much change has happened with me. I retired from my former employer after almost 32 years of work.
Right.
I'm very thankful for I had the ability to retire.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, where a lot of people cannot. And so I'm very thankful for that. But, you know, we think about things in life that a lot of times we take for granted.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I every day I deal sometimes with seeing homeless people, and I don't know what tragedies have befallen their life that they're where they're at. But you know, I have to say I'm most thankful for my family. I've got I'm very close with my mother and my stepfather.
Mm-hmm.
As many, I think I've mentioned listeners, my real father passed away over 30 some years ago. And we were lucky to, my mom was able to find someone who's been a good husband to her, has been a good stepfather to me and my sister. And so I'm very thankful for that. I think of close friends
Mm-hmm.
that I have, and I value those friendships, and I'm thankful for those people. I'm thankful for good health. I've been very blessed. I thank the good Lord every day that
Right.
I have that. I've got good health. Think of a home, a roof over your head.
Right.
You know, for people who are employed, they have a job. We have food to eat. We have clean water to drink. I don't have any pets, but when I had a pet, I was thankful that I had a pet.
Yeah. I was looking back a little bit. I didn't listen to the full episode, but we do an episode like this, you know, this time each year, and it's interesting to looking back a little bit how much life for me has changed over the course of just this 1 year, and so it's been.
Yeah, it's so funny. I actually pulled up a website called Shutterfly.com.
Yeah.
And it had things to be thankful for in life, and some of the things I've mentioned already, but they list some other things here. A good night's sleep.
There you go.
Financial savings.
Yeah.
Weekends.
Yeah.
For people who work.
Right.
Look forward to the weekends. Fresh air.
Yep.
Transportation. They have a car. Clean water. I mentioned that. Or technology.
Yeah.
How technology has made our lives a lot easier.
Right. We've talked about that recently, good and bad.
You know, art. People that produce beautiful art.
Right.
Teachers that teach the future generation. Modern healthcare. You know?
Yeah.
Think about that. Music. They mention here graduations, colors, giving gifts, and receiving gifts. Hmm. And then they have this thing called funny things to be thankful for.
Uh-oh.
What do you think is number one?
I don't even know.
Indoor plumbing.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Think about that.
Very
Indoor
thankful.
plumbing. Yeah, because it's either that or go into an outhouse.
Right.
That's how it used to be. 2 here is food delivery services, Wi-Fi.
I would push back on food delivery services, but that's just a me thing. I feel like they're overpriced, and I think you don't need. Food delivery.
Everything's overpriced.
I know, but even more so, you can buy McDonald's where you can spend like 3 times and get it delivered. I'm like, why? Just go get it.
Naturally missing every crack in the pavement.
I don't know what that.
I have
means,
no
but-
idea. Happy hours.
Okay, yeah.
Netflix.
Okay.
Waking up seconds before your alarm.
I will say that's kind of a nice feeling.
Fuzzy socks.
My feet get too hot, but I know people like those, so I'm not gonna shame them.
Deodorant.
100%.
The ability to Google any question. Thank
Yeah,
goodness for
okay.
us, because
Yeah,
that
yeah.
helps with our with the podcast.
Yeah.
Toilet paper.
Yep. I agree.
Duct tape.
Okay.
Good hair days.
Okay. You had me, and then you lost me a little bit.
Your celebrity crush.
I don't know about that. Okay. Now.
The 5-second rule.
Okay.
Bacon.
All right.
Fortune cookies with a perfectly timed fortunes.
Okay. These are oddly specific.
Yes. Cat videos.
Okay.
Clothes fresh out of the dryer.
Okay. Yeah, I'll agree.
Inside jokes.
It's fun.
GPS.
Yeah.
Autosave.
I've
Saved
been-
my butt many
I
a
have
time.
been especially for editing. In the editing world, having autosave has been a lifesaver for me.
Spell check.
Yeah. Again, same.
Chapstick.
Okay.
Getting everyone to smile in the family photo at the same time.
Okay. Good feeling.
And then they
I
have
thought it was going to say like a perfectly timed joke that everyone gets and laughs at. That's a good feeling too.
they have things, and then they have things to be thankful for Thanksgiving. Holidays with family or friends. A good meal.
Oh yeah.
A comfy couch or chair. Thank you notes. Your favorite Thanksgiving side dish.
Oh yeah. And there's so many good
I
ones.
know. Freedom of religion.
Yeah.
Working with your hands. Here's one. Unconditional love.
Wow.
Uncontrollable laughter.
Oh yeah. That's good.
Teachers who don't give homework on Thanksgiving break.
Yeah.
Cake. Road trips. Hot showers.
Yeah. Okay.
The smell of freshly baked cookies.
Mhm.
Ian.
Okay.
Learning from unique cultures or traditions.
It's fun.
Good neighbors. Seeing old friends. Old photographs. Grandparents.
Mm.
Sit down dinners. A nice cup of hot chocolate. Well, it's got 4
Yes,
more.
okay.
Fun family traditions. Mutual respect. Finally getting to wear your favorite sweater and not being the turkey.
Okay.
So
I was recently watching a video and someone said that Thanksgiving, obviously people make it all about the turkey, but they were saying Thanksgiving is not all about the turkey; it's all about the side dishes.
And I agree with that.
And they were saying
But
that
how
like,
many turkeys are eaten for Thanksgiving?
You're right. But they were saying the guy in particular was saying that even the people that say like, oh, but you haven't had my turkey's the best. He's like, you're right, and I can almost guarantee that your side dishes are even better still.
Mm-hmm. How many turkeys?
I would probably thousands.
How many
tens of
turkeys are
thousands.
eaten on Thanksgiving Day?
I'm gonna say some crazy like 9,000.
Okay, in 2019, it was 40 million
40
turkeys
mi-
were consumed on Thanksgiving Day, and they're estimating in 2024 it will be 43 million
Damn.
turkeys. Interesting side dishes. Stuffing has overtaken mashed potatoes as America's favorite Thanksgiving dish in 2024. and that's according to all recipes. And that is vary by generation, with Gen Z favoring mac and cheese, while the older generations lean towards stuffing and mashed potatoes.
Wow.
Yes. So how many calories do you think someone consumes on Thanksgiving Day?
I can't even imagine.
I would say 1,800.
The average American consumes 2,092 calories
That
during
was
Thanksgiving
close.
dinner.
Yeah.
And Gen Z individuals tend to consume the most at 2,200 calories on Thanksgiving. And what is the afternoon is the most popular time for Thanksgiving dinner, with the
Really?
older people wanting to do a little bit earlier.
Right.
The
Yeah, I've always eaten Thanksgiving. Usually it's around 1 o'clock.
right.
But I've known a few people that do evening Thanksgiving dinners. And I know, matter of fact, we're talking about that this weekend, about possibly maybe next year trying to do an evening Thanksgiving instead of a midday. Actually, I'll be running a short race Thanksgiving morning.
Get out.
I'll be doing they call it turkey trot.
Okay. So think about this. If we consume a little over 40 million turkeys every Thanksgiving at an average weight of 16 pounds, that's over 730 million pounds of turkey every Thanksgiving.
Wow.
And 80 million pounds of cranberries are used every Thanksgiving.
Gosh.
Wow.
I'm not even a big fan of cranberry sauce, but
Okay. How many pumpkin pies?
I love pumpkin pie.
How many pumpkin
really?
pies will be
yes.
consumed on Thanksgiving?
How many? In the thousands or in the millions?
I'm assuming millions. At this
It's
point.
got to be in the millions.
Because of-
50 million
50.
pumpkin
Yeah.
pies are
Jeez.
devoured, and it's consistently ranked as the top dessert across all age groups.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not a big fan of pumpkin pie, but that's a me thing. But that's interesting to hear. Wow.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty interesting.
That's fun.
Well, I'm looking at some Pew Research right now, and they say 9 in 10 Americans, 91% celebrate Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
For example, 96% of Americans 65 and older celebrate Thanksgiving compared to somewhat smaller shares of younger adults.
Well, I also found out that the millennials, Ian's group, and newer ones are moving away from Thanksgiving and going toward Friendsgiving.
Yeah.
And we've even joked with Ian because he's had Friendsgiving a couple of times and hasn't invited us. So apparently we don't make it to his Friendsgiving list, which is a joke. You did invite us.
It is a
But
pretty short list, though.
It's because they're further away from their parents,
Right.
and they're more inclusive of people that maybe don't have families or
Right.
aren't in cahoots with their families.
Yep.
And I thought the Friendsgiving was pretty interesting too. In 1960, what was the average cost for a Thanksgiving meal serving
gosh.
10 people?
I'm going to say in the hundreds of dollars, but not
$12.72.
for like the whole, like, or it's like
Thanksgiving
per
meal
serving?
serving, yes.
Oh, serving. Okay. So
No. That's the meal for 10 people.
Get out.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm tripping now. You could, for $12, you could have a whole
Whole meal.
10-person meal.
10-person
Get
meal.
out. There's no way.
Yep.
What was the year on that, you said?
What did I say? Let me see.
is it?
I got that from Self Magazine.
Okay,
that was
okay.
1960.
1960. Oh my gosh.
Mhm.
Because now it's got to be something crazy like $200 or whatever.
I would think, because just a turkey alone is going
I
to be
know.
$25 to $40.
Exactly.
So yeah,
Wow. I was trying to be conservative and go like, it's got to be like, what, $100 for 10 people? That's wild. Interesting.
Yeah, say I'm looking at here the Thanksgiving dinner includes lots of other people. It's about a quarter, 26% expect to have Thanksgiving dinner with more than 10 other people this year, including 7% who expect to have it with more than 20 others.
Oh my gosh.
So it looks like the sweet spot is 6 to 10 people.
Yeah, I would agree.
now
I was-
in 1621. That is the first Thanksgiving meal.
All right.
What was served?
I
I would say pheasant.
Hold on. Venison. The Wampanoag contributed 5 deer to the feast, highlighting the important venison in their diet. The Pilgrims hunted birds, including ducks, geese, and possibly wild turkeys, although turkeys weren't the centerpiece as it is today.
Yeah.
And because of its coastal location, they believed that some fish, some eels, clams, and mollusks were probably included in the deal. Some corn, you know, that kind of stuff. That the Indians brought the corn and porridge and things like that into it. Maybe some other native crops like squash and beans. So
that's crazy.
But it's not the same. You know, they didn't have, if you think about it, you know, we're talking about pumpkin pie and cookies and all this. Well, they didn't have flour and sugar and things like that back then. So they were more nuts and berries and things like that and this is from the Smithsonian, that they didn't have potatoes either. Like mashed potatoes has been one of the biggest Thanksgiving things. Well, they didn't have potatoes yet. They weren't introduced into the New England area just yet. So I thought that was kind of funny, thinking of what we do today versus, you know, a couple of 100 years ago, what that would have been like. Can you imagine what that would have been like?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
How big of a group that would have been.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Now, here's something. Dinner time preferences follow regional patterns. Americans who live in the Midwest and South are more likely to prefer Thanksgiving dinner in the early afternoon than the late afternoon, whereas people in the Northeast and West are more likely to prefer late afternoon than early afternoon. So, yeah, they say 65 and older are more likely to prefer Thanksgiving dinner earlier in the afternoon than later. Meanwhile, adults under 30 are more likely to prefer late afternoon over early afternoon. I wonder why.
Maybe just timing. You know, a lot of the industrial areas don't always get Thanksgiving off, so you had to wait until people got home.
Well, for me, again, when I was younger, it was always in the like early afternoon, directly after lunchtime kind of time slot, because we would like get up super early. We'd watch the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, and then we would like start cooking all the stuff and getting everything ready, and then usually it was done by the time like, you know, early afternoon was. But for me now in my personal life, whenever I've done Friendsgiving, I usually will like get up, clean the house, and then start cooking all the food and things and getting it all prepared, and then we'll have it in the afternoon usually. That's usually just when everyone's available, and it's also, I think it's a nice time. It's, you know, I like a nice nighttime dinner, especially with friends, and so it's always been fun to do that.
Another fun fact, 19% of Thanksgiving meals include ham in addition to the turkey.
You gotta have both.
Gotta have both.
You gotta have
so
both? Okay.
Roughly,
have both.
It's about 77 million pounds of ham.
Wow.
For Thanksgiving.
That's a lot of ham.
And in 1970, the average American consumed approximately, and I'm assuming this is for the year, 8.2 pounds of turkey annually.
Jeez.
In 2021, that's nearly doubled to 15.3 pounds per person. So that's saying it's becoming even more popular, not just at Thanksgiving, but all around the time, you know.
Yeah. Year round. That's wild.
About 2/3 of U.S. adults say someone at their dinner typically says a prayer or a blessing.
Okay.
Or says things they are thankful for. So if there's 65% will say, someone will say a prayer or blessing. 69% will say what they're thankful for. And a majority of Americans, 56%, say someone at their Thanksgiving dinner typically does both of these things.
Wow.
And so it's interesting to break down the numbers on this particular topic. Saying grace at Thanksgiving is especially common among certain religious groups. For example, 91% of white evangelical Protestants say someone at their Thanksgiving dinner typically says a prayer or blessing. The same is true for 88% of black Protestants, 74% of Catholics, and 72% of white non-evangelical Protestants. prayer is much less common among those who say their religion is nothing in particular, 45%, agnostics, 39%, atheists, 22%, and Jewish adults,
Wow.
22%.
Even atheists, 22% will say something. That's interesting.
We'll say something.
They say something.
Something they can be thankful for.
Yeah. Or saying some sort of blessing of sorts.
You know, this is a show about Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And millennials and Gen Z are more inclined to experiment with non-traditional desserts, including vegan and gluten-free options. So what are they really thankful for? I mean, if you're going to have vegan and non-gluten stuff, you know, you're kind of just killing the whole thing there, right?
Well, it depends. I mean,
I wouldn't be thankful.
Well, I know you wouldn't be, but like there are some people that do have. It depends on like I don't know, at least for the Friendsgiving aspect of it. There are people that may have some restrictions that it is kind of nice that not everyone has to eat that, but someone can at least enjoy something nice.
Yeah,
I have tried to. I haven't done anything quite like that because there's no one in my group that has any sort of condition like that. But I have tried some non-traditional desserts for a Thanksgiving before. So
like brown sugar chocolate chip cookies.
No. I've done some like there was a interesting. I think it was one year I did like a key lime pie thing, which was kind of fun, and that was like probably not traditionally a Thanksgiving thing, but it was a nice little refreshing into
Where your top three are
Okay.
pumpkin, pecan, and apple pies.
Oh yeah, that's like
that's your top three
the
for
trifecta
Thanksgiving
right there. Yeah,
they don't have any numbers for the pecan and apple, but like I said, there was pretty good numbers for the pumpkin pie there.
Yeah,
and pecan pie is more highlighted in the southern areas,
of course,
with apple pie being in kind of everywhere.
Yeah.
I do this fun thing with my apple pie when I'm making my crust. Instead of lard, I use bacon grease.
Wow.
And I do mine on the grill.
Okay.
So you kind of get the bacon across the bottom, and you get the sweet tart apple, and then you get the bacon and the smoke on the top.
Yeah.
And you do it in a cast iron skillet.
Oh, gosh.
So it stays warmer in that longer. So when you plate it, then you top it with a scoop of vanilla bean ice cream.
Yeah.
Really
when it melts
good.
together, it's like candy.
Yeah.
It is like candy.
That sounds awesome.
Well, they say apart from eating, Americans expect to do a wide range of things this Thanksgiving. A lot will be watching football or parade are still fairly popular.
Yeah.
35% of Americans say it's extremely or very likely they'll watch sports on Thanksgiving, and 19% that same about watching parade. Men are more likely than women to say they'll watch sports, while women are more likely than men to say they'll watch a parade.
Wow. Makes sense. I can't say that I ever have watched sport. I mean, I'm not a big sports watcher though anyways, but I've never really.
Yeah, and talk about, kind of bringing into kind of the latest news. They said when it comes to conversation, 35% of Americans say it's extremely or very likely that they'll talk about work or school or on Thanksgiving. Yeah. And in the wake of the presidential election that saw more than 154 million Americans cast a ballot, 26% expect the election to come up.
Oh, yeah.
A similar share, 24%, expect to talk about pop culture like music or movies, although far fewer, 4%, expect to go to a movie, which was at one time, I think, very popular.
Yes.
That was a time to go to a movie was Thanksgiving night.
Yes.
Like after you've done eating, I remember talking about going to a movie.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
I can remember that.
There's a lot of big things. That new Wicked movie came out, and so that's like that's a big thing that people may go do.
Tell me, what did y'all think about this latest thing I saw about this movement for people to cancel Thanksgiving and or Christmas because of what happened with the election?
I haven't heard anything about that, but it sounds
I saw some videos on that you got that couple of female personalities that have they said they have canceled. They've canceled plans with their husband to go to, especially if the husband's family were Trump voters.
I see.
And she was a not a Trump voter.
Yeah.
That they are canceling the holidays because they don't.
Right, because they don't want to talk about it.
Well, it's not that they don't want to talk about it. It's not that they want to talk about it. It's actually because they view the election of Trump as an insult to them.
I see.
It's like, well, it reflects your character that you voted for this person, and that means you don't like me. So that means that's how they're viewing it, which I think is a tragedy.
It is,
but
especially if there's grandchildren.
Exactly, it's a shame that it's come to that, but unfortunately, we have to talk about it because it is
very relevant.
It's very relevant to where we're at today.
Well, didn't we do a show early on when Thanksgiving is messy?
Oh, yeah.
Or something like that.
It was Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is messy.
Messy.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry, my brain.
No. You're hey, close enough.
It's people want to get, they can't think about things to be thankful for. They just want to think about things that offend them. And,
it's unfortunate. But I mean, hopefully it makes me sad that person feels that way. But I mean, that is their truth. So I'll give them that. And that's between that husband and that wife to discuss on what they want to do moving forward. So
I've got some stats here. It's 5 Thanksgiving facts for 2024.
Okay,
$321. It's the average person's spending over the 5-day Thanksgiving period.
Just on anything
just,
or the food?
Just says average spending over a 5-day period is $321.
Does that include Black Friday?
Probably so. He said the week of.
Or is that just for the Thanksgiving meal?
Yeah.
It's 10 hours. Length of time the average American male would need to spend on the treadmill to burn 4,500 calories consumed at the average Thanksgiving meal.
Dang.
That's going up a lot.
Yes.
Well,
it depends on if they're because I think you said it was 2,000 or something. Maybe they're combining both in-laws.
Well, it just shows you how calorie dense our food is based upon the sedentary life that we live now. For many people, they don't. I mean, look, when I ran 18 miles this past Friday.
Right.
I burned 1,700 calories.
Wow.
That you can eat 1,700 calories quick.
Oh, yeah.
You really can.
Yeah.
So
they got a shake over at one of the shake places that has 1,600
Yeah,
calories.
Get out.
I mean,
crazy.
really? Wait, what?
It's crazy.
That is wild.
I think, Stoney, you mentioned about Thanksgiving turkeys. The number I'm seeing is 1.2 billion will be spent on turkeys. 46 million turkeys killed for the holiday.
Wow.
26 million amount of property loss caused by residential building fires each Thanksgiving.
When people are frying turkeys now, setting stuff on fire.
That's crazy. That's a
nothing
metric.
like a good fried turkey.
You're right.
Man.
I love
when
fried turkey.
when it's done right. Oh,
and you know what Miranda and I have been experimenting with is the spatchcock turkey.
Okay.
Have you seen those?
No.
Okay. You can still put it in the oven or on the grill, but you cut, I guess it's the backbone out.
Okay.
And you flatten it out and you flip it over and you press everything down flat. And what it does is it creates a more even tone for it.
Right.
And it cooks way faster.
Interesting.
And it cooks a little bit more even. And if you do the skin right, I think you kind of poke the skin a little bit and kind of salt the skin.
Yeah.
And then you season it. And you may let that salt on it overnight with no cover in the refrigerator, and the skin gets kind of hard.
Yeah.
It's pretty fantastic.
That does sound pretty good. I'm not going to lie.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But you can't beat a fried turkey either.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't burn your house down.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
Do it way out in the backyard.
Yep.
October 3rd, 1863. President Abraham Lincoln proclaimed Thanksgiving a national holiday.
Really?
So that's when it started as a holiday.
Was he the first one to pardon a turkey?
Actually, that was George H.W. Bush
What?
in 1989.
Really?
First year a president officially pardoned a turkey.
I thought it was before that.
Not according to this.
Okay.
2 turkeys are sent to the White House each year.
One gets it and one gets pardon.
Yep. That's it.
Really?
One gets eaten. That's exactly.
Do they toss a coin to see who's going to be who?
There are 4 U.S. towns named Turkey.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
There's one in Arizona. There's a Turkey Creek, Arizona.
Okay.
There's a Turkey, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Turkey Creek, Louisiana.
No.
And there's
Yeah.
a Turkey, North Carolina.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Average number of calories consumed on Thanksgiving, they show here anywhere from 3,150 to 4,500 calories.
There's no way. Isn't like the recommended amount like 2,000 in a day?
About you're eating double what you normally should
I don't think
eat.
it's 2,000. I think a normal person should be like 1,800 calories a day.
Probably.
It would depend on the individual and what's going on.
I
Now,
see.
if a person
I
that's
see.
very active physically,
Right.
you're going to need more than the person that really doesn't.
Right.
8.3 billion number of calories consumed by Americans at Thanksgiving every year from turkey alone.
Wow. That's wild.
Oh,
How can you even like get that?
10
number?
hours it takes the average male to burn 4,500 calories. I can see that because, as I said, I ran 18. It took me a little over 3 hours, and it was a little over 1,700 calories according to my watch.
just to throw in there, 2020 to 2025 dietary guidelines for Americans. Adult females for 16 to 2,400 calories, and adult males 22 to 3,000 calories per day.
Wow.
So you're
Okay.
eating, quite
Yeah.
almost double.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I could see that between the pies and
Yeah.
And
And
everything
especially when it's
else.
all day.
right. Yeah, all you do is eat all day.
That's
yeah.
it.
What else you do? You eat and
Right.
watch TV and you talk and you do whatever.
Right.
13% of Americans plan to get takeout from a restaurant or to
Really?
go out to eat for Thanksgiving. I knew people that did that.
I knew the going out part. I
Yeah,
had
there's
some
a-
friends. That's what they would do.
Yeah,
They would just
it's kind of a tradition. They go out and get something to eat.
Interesting.
Average here, they have this cost here. Average cost of a 10-person Thanksgiving dinner, $61.17.
Wow.
World's most expensive Thanksgiving dinner, 2018 New York City's Old Homestead Steakhouse, $150,000
Get out. No, there's no way. For a meal?
for a meal, one meal.
It's disgusting.
And they said we have 46 million turkeys killed. 54% of Americans say they will try adding new side dishes recipes on the menu.
That's fun. Last year, my brother and I tried a new baked macaroni and cheese recipe, and it turned out pretty good. I think we could improve upon it this year, but it was we just tried something new. I had all the stuff.
Bacon bits.
Okay.
Bacon bits.
Okay, bacon. Got it. I'll add it to the list. We tried something new, and he obviously, he has a culinary background, and so he, took what I had, and we made something really nice out of it, and it was really cool. But we both are thinking about doing something new with that this year. So,
Well, that I said earlier, that's one of the newer
yeah.
side dishes that are popping up. So.
I love a good baked macaroni and cheese. But I also do love like mashed potatoes and stuffing, like all those classics, man. You can't go wrong with those.
100,000 plus questions are answered by the Butterball Turkey Hotline each November and
Okay,
December.
that's
They
kind of
have-
fun.
they
That's a
have
fun
one of those?
statistic there. Because you got to think, they must have extra people on duty to
Yeah,
answer
dude.
those questions. Hey, you want a temporary job?
I
How many?
They have
100
that?
and-
100,000 plus.
Wow.
I wonder how many of those is. What is the temperature this turkey should be cooked at?
Probably so.
How long why is that little thing not popping up? It's been cooking for 15 hours and the little thing hasn't popped up yet.
The average number of guests, including household members, is 9.
Interesting.
Okay, here it is. America's favorite Thanksgiving dishes. 83% turkey. 78% is mashed potatoes.
Wow.
77% stuffing or dressing. 74% bread or rolls. 65% sweet potatoes or yams. 52% cranberry sauce. I love cranberry sauce.
50-something% love cranberry sauce? Wow.
52%.
Wow.
I love cranberry. I really do. 68% of Americans will have turkey for Thanksgiving. 50% of Americans will serve mashed potatoes and stuffing. 41% of Americans will have gravy. And then the pies. Can't forget about the pies. 27% are other. 23% are pumpkin. 14% pecan. 12% apple. And it kind of breaks down blueberry, cherry, chocolate, and then sweet potato.
Wow. Man,
56% of Americans say offering meat-free options for Thanksgiving is important.
What are you thankful for then?
Probably a lot.
You know, thankful toast. Number one liquor that's used is wine.
Of course.
2 is beer, and 3 is whiskey.
Oh, yeah. There you go.
3.1 is the average number of drinks consumed by men on Thanksgiving. 2.4% average number of drinks consumed by women on Thanksgiving.
Interesting.
87% of
The
Americans.
funny thing is that I was like, that seems kind of low. But then I thought about it. Last night I had a Friendsgiving party, and I think I had 3 drinks. So I think I'm.
Hey, did you get that invite?
No.
Jason,
It wasn't.
to
It was not.
Friendsgiving?
It was not mine. It was not mine. It was somebody else's.
Okay.
I was invited out to another Friendsgiving.
Did you cook them the brown sugar
No, I did
chocolate chip
not.
cookies?
No, I
Okay.
did not. I brought other stuff. I brought beer.
Okay. And you had 3.
And I had 3. Yeah, correct.
9.6 hours is the amount of time hosts will spend preparing for Thanksgiving.
Wow.
That's actually more for I know for my mother, she spends a couple days
days
getting ready.
She's like prepared, like all.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man, that's.
The average cost of a 16-pound whole frozen turkey is $17.71.
And you can do better than that. Miranda found one. You just got to shop the flyers. And
Yeah.
there's one store that if you buy $50 worth of stuff or $75 worth of stuff, they give you the turkey for free. And
Oh my gosh.
66% of Americans prefer their turkey baked.
Okay.
63% of Americans don't plan on bringing their turkey.
For me, I don't prefer mine baked, but I have cooked mine baked because I'm scared to fry it because I don't want
to.
to.
You want to learn? I'll show you.
I don't want to burn my house down. But
do it away from your house.
I know.
Do it away from the house.
53% of Americans say they eat leftovers for 2 to 3 days after hosting Thanksgiving.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
See, one of my things is I like to save the turkey carcass and turn it into a turkey and sausage gumbo.
Oh.
And
Beautiful.
there you go.
Careful
of the bones.
One of the main courses of the Friendsgiving I was at last night was gumbo, chicken and sausage gumbo, or a turkey and sausage. I can't remember, but it was. So
I'm gonna come take a cooking lesson from you, Stoney. I'm gonna pay you some money and teach me how to cook. And you may
You ain't gotta pay me nothing. Just come on.
Pay for the ingredients.
I want you to teach me how to cook a good gumbo.
I can do that.
Okay.
I can do that. Would love to do that.
Perfect. I'll even buy the ingredients. I'll bring them over, and you show me what to do. So I would want to do that.
I mean, you want to learn it from the roux and everything?
Yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yes.
Because, the roux can take 45 minutes to an hour
That's
to
fine.
make just the roux.
That's
but
fine.
it's so worth it.
Yep.
When you do it.
That's fine with me. 20% of people will take part in a Friendsgiving gathering.
Nice.
61% of Americans believe Thanksgiving is not a good time to discuss politics with the family, and I would agree with that.
I don't think there's a lot of times that I would consider it good, but
200 million, a record number of shoppers over a 5-day Thanksgiving period in 2023.
Really?
55% of Thanksgiving weekend shoppers said deals drove them to buy. Matter of fact, it's a tradition with my girlfriend's family. They go out. They start early on on Black Friday and go do they have their ritual they follow, and they go do their thing. And
I've always been kind of the opposite from when Halloween happened until Little Christmas.
Yep.
You know what Little Christmas is?
Yeah, you told us about it.
Epiphany.
I would not go into a store. By Halloween, I would have 4 or 5 rolls of deodorant. I would have everything that I needed except for eggs and milk and bread.
Right.
Everything I needed, because I wouldn't want to go fight all these people, all the crowds. If I had to jump in somewhere quick and grab some bread, I would do it.
Yeah.
But I can't stand crowds.
I buy a lot of people buying online now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it said $5.6 billion amount spent online on Thanksgiving Day in 2023. That was a 5.5% increase over 2022. 16 million Thanksgiving greeting cards are exchanged each year.
Wow.
1876. Now, this is an interesting stat. 1876, the year the Thanksgiving football tradition began. It was between Yale and Princeton.
Really? Do they even have football teams
Well,
anymore?
yeah.
Yeah, well, that's some of the.
You don't know? Do you not know who you're talking to? I don't know that.
I forgot. I'm sorry.
Ni-
No, you're good. You're good.
In 1920, it was the first year NFL games were played on Thanksgiving.
Wow.
2 teams have played every Thanksgiving since 1966. You know who they are?
No.
Dallas and Detroit.
Really?
Yep.
Is it just a tradition, or is it like a reason?
Yeah,
why?
they've been playing on Thanksgiving day since 1966. Those 2 teams,
Wow.
Dallas and Detroit, they play each other.
That's like I said, they like plan that, or is that just like a happenstance?
I guess it's the way it's worked.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
1924, the year of the first Macy's parade. Originally called the Macy's Christmas Day Parade, despite being held on Thanksgiving.
Okay. That's strange.
2.5 miles, the distance of the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade route.
Wow. That's interesting.
8,000 plus people will participate in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade in 2024.
Is that? It sounds like a lot of people, but I'm not sure. Is that less?
It's a lot of people.
Yeah.
8,000 plus. It's 8,000 plus.
Is that participate watching or participate in doing the parade?
I think you're saying participate.
It says people will participate in the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade in 2024.
So that's probably
8,000 plus.
Singers, dancers.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
Float operators.
15 balloons and balloonicicles, 14 parade floats, 12 marching bands, and 2 performance groups. 2.5 million. Now this clarifies. 2.5 million plus spectators typically attend.
There you go.
So the 8,000 plus are the people actually a part of the actual parade. There's a lot of neat stats in here. 45 million plus estimated number of TV viewers every year. 30% of Americans will travel this Thanksgiving holiday.
It is one of the biggest travel holidays.
It is.
Yeah. I could understand if my family was far away, but right now I can't imagine traveling during this time of year. I know it'd probably be more expensive, but I would travel before the holiday started and after if I had to, and that's not always the case.
18% of travelers will primarily drive to their destinations, where 13% will primarily fly.
That's actually smaller than I thought.
Most popular destinations: New York, Seattle, Washington, and Dallas, Texas.
Really?
507 estimated number of traffic fatalities each Thanksgiving weekend. 57,800 number of people seriously injured in Thanksgiving car crashes each year.
Wow.
4 times as many home cooking fires occur on Thanksgiving
4 times
as on a typical day.
Dang.
26 million in property loss caused by residential building fires each Thanksgiving.
Unfortunate.
And then 5 estimated number of deaths due to Thanksgiving house fires.
That's so sad, man.
So Yeah, it's pretty. It's like,
Yeah.
what are we most thankful for? According to this, it's 41% say family, 33% say health, 19% say life, 8% say job finances, 7% faith religion, 6% basic needs being met, and 5% are friends. So it's a pretty neat little. This was off called Wallet Hub.
Yeah.
And it
It's
had
interesting that friends is so far down the list.
Bunch of interesting stats on Thanksgiving.
Wow. That speaks to me in a whole new way. That list you just read off, that friends was at the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
What does that mean for our society right now? Dang. That people are more thankful for other things than some of the friends they have in their life. That's sad. Because I think, I'm sorry, the reason I feel that way is because this year specifically for myself, I have, not only was this the year that I turned 30, and I was worried about a lot of how this year was going to end up because of life changes that were going on. But I have had so many great opportunities over the course of like just the past 4 or 5 months. And I've had the opportunity of meeting some really great and really wonderful people along the process. And I've made some really cool new friends along the way that I've been really thankful for because they've gotten me out of a kind of a slump that I was in over the summer months. And it was so, it's been so interesting. I had an opportunity with the Renaissance Festival, like I was talking about earlier, and I've met 3 new people, like just on a whim, and they're wonderful people. And there was, again, with that opportunity, I was like, man, I don't think I would have met these people if I didn't stop and.
Did you dress up?
Yeah, I dressed up, and it was a whole thing, and it was a lot of fun, like I always do. I make it a fun.
What do you go as?
I have a whole like character.
He's a royal.
Yeah.
He's
got a crown.
royal.
Got a whole like a big fur thing. It's a whole thing I do. So it looks all big and it's fun, and I have a lot of fun with it. So meeting these people, and it was so cool to make new friends there. And then the production I was a part of back in October, meeting people that I would have never met like outside of that context. And I keep in touch with some of them. This Friendsgiving last night was a mutual friend of my brother's, and so myself, my best friend, and my brother were all there with him, but it was his girlfriend and a lot of his work friends, and there was probably 15 of us there, and I made some really cool new friends last night. And so this whole year has been like, at least like the latter half this year, I've made so many new friends. I made so many new people that it's been a lot of fun to kind of get out more, because I was a bit, like I said, going through a funk and was going through a bunch of changes in life and stuff like that. And so it's just been, I don't know, it's cool to see that I'm getting out a little bit and meeting new friends, and I'm thankful that they've been able to help me just kind of get my head on straight and, keep my eyes looking straight ahead. So that's why I think I got so, I don't want to say offended, but I got a bit emotional by that like I love my family, love them to death. They aggravate the hell out of me, but there are so many great things I'm thankful for. But like this year specifically, I mean, and I've said it probably last year before, like even you guys just being able to sit here and do the podcast has been, I'm thankful to do this. And it's been fun to kind of talk about interesting new topics and things that I don't think I normally would have talked about or gone in depth with. We've again,
there's a lot of things we've done over the course. I'm thankful for this podcast because it's definitely expanded my brain as far as.
I remember considering you weren't sure, you just wanted to do more than one.
And, right. I mean, it's just, I didn't know how this thing was going to go, and I didn't know how much I would enjoy it. Would it become a chore? Would it become something that I viewed as like another job? I mean, I've thoroughly enjoyed my time here. As I said, I'm excited for our future, and I think we have a tremendous opportunity to really see something quite extraordinary.
Oh, yeah. There's been a lot of new listeners to the show, like we talked about recently, the YouTube channel is now over 100 subscribers and
Yeah.
has a lot of listeners. And so it's really cool to see that even the show in its own way that has grown into its own
it's
thing.
incredible,
There's a lot
that we've done. And as I said, I think we've got a good future ahead of us. We just have to stay on the path and keep putting out good content and hopefully people will give us some suggestions on some things that we're not thinking about, so because we can't think of everything.
And with this accident that happened last year, I have my dark days. Today is apparently one of those days because it just seems like sometimes the bad news never stops. But I am still thankful for my Jesus. I am still thankful for my Miranda and Magnus. I'm thankful this year that I was able to reconnect with my father and his wife, my mother, my brother, and my sister, you guys, all of my friends that have stayed in contact with me through this accident and life. I am really appreciative and thankful of the podcast because there was a time that I was going to stop doing it, but even my neuropsych people said, no, you need to keep doing it for your cognitive stuff. So I'm thankful that I listened to them and kept pushing through. And I know that there are hard times for everybody right now, but just try to find something to be thankful for.
I agree, 100%. Well, like we normally do at the end of all the episodes, you can find us at Retrospect Pod on Facebook or on any of the major podcasting platforms. We're on some new ones. We're whatever. Just be sure to follow and like where you can, so that way we can see some engagement if you guys are actually enjoying it. Leave comments where you can, because obviously again we're listening to those, we're looking at them, we're reading them, so we're trying to get some ideas and gauging how you guys feel about it all. We have an email address, getoffendedtogether@gmail.com, where you can give us those more long-form responses if you can't fit all your feelings into that small text box.
And the
website as well.
Retrospectpodcast.com.
Many different ways where you can get in touch with us, and we want to hear from you.
Thanksgiving isn't always easy, especially when life feels heavy. For many of us, finding gratitude can feel like a challenge when faced with hardship or uncertainty. But maybe that's when it matters the most. Gratitude doesn't mean ignoring the tough stuff. It means holding space for the small, good moments amid the chaos. So whether it's a warm meal, a kind word, or just making it through the day, we hope you can find one thing to hold on to this Thanksgiving. From all of us at Retrospect, we're thankful for you.
Thank you so much for all the listenership that you've given us throughout the few years we've been doing this. I really appreciate it. And until next week, thank you so much for listening. Bye-bye.
Goodbye, everyone. God bless.
Take care. Thanks for hanging out with us today. You're the best. Peace.